How do I expect people to help out when people don't even know what they have to pick from? Let's sign some players. Of course. Who do we sign? Well, there's only one way to put this. Where's the French? Jesus, un idiot. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Let's look at some players we can sign. Bonjour everyone and welcome back along to the Montpellier career mode and another little in-between season sort of short video here. I've been doing a little bit of research. The old whiteboard has been getting a bit of a bashing over the last couple of days, trying to work out who are we going to sign, who we're going to pick up and things like that. And a very good point was brought up in the comments from Pierre about, well, you guys don't actually know who we have available. So typically, not everyone is available, especially at the end of season one. Most players are still under contract. So thanks to yous out there who have suggested players, although I've looked through and all suggested players pretty much are unavailable at the end of season number one. Either if we could sign them, given the limitations, they're not available for signing. So today, we're going to look through all the positions, all the sort of players. Generally, there's probably only going to be 4 to 6 each that actually are in the range we can sign, of course, with these limitations on us, and give you guys a bit of an idea of what we should do. I've made a little shortlist here as well, especially some positions we are going to really look at in a bit more depth. But let's dig into it, and of course, do not forget about this here, where we do have to look out for these rules, regulations, the 10 non-French players in the squad. Of course, there are 5 non-French players in the match day 15, and of course 3 non-EU players in the squad and match 15. So pretty much we're looking Springboks or Wallabies and stuff like that. We can only get 3 of them in the squad and in the match day 15. Non-French, we're looking EU players. We can get up to 10 in total, including the non-EU players, but only 5 of them can play in a match day squad. So let's take a look at who is available, and this is a situation we are given us. Of course, we know what's going on with these guys out of contract, and thanks for the comments on that as well. I did notice one thing actually before we get into it. We talked about wages. A few of the comments talk about wages. Look at this. I did not notice it as a start, but we've got the $1 Million Man. Jeffrey Dalmayru, $972,000 is his wage. He's got 1 year left on that, and I'm hoping next season we can certainly drive that down. Other players you guys suggested, guys like Fourletta on a very big wage for a 63 rated, and there's a couple of others as well. But that is the outs. We are looking at the ins, so let's get into it. Of course, this is a little look. This is all the players we've got available now on this list here, but most notably, I think we need scrum halves, at least a couple of them as well. We need a better fly half. We probably need some more props as well, and outside backs. They're the big things that I think we're going to be looking at in this transfer window, but of course we'll look at all options in this short piece today, and let's keep it short as well. Let's try our best. Let's look at the number 9s first, because I think that is where we are really going to be done in. Just without that depth, Cabral is a high-wage rubbish player. So we've really only got Pelag as our one man. So looking at Pelag, he is 77 rated. So we can go up to guys like Matt Lucas or Robert McCurdy. We'll go with McCurdy. But one I thought's really interesting, I've got him on my little shortlist as well, is the Russian Vasily Dorofeev. Exciting little player. Really thought he would be an awesome addition, but demands a rather tasty wage, doesn't he? 274k about, depending on how negotiations would go. So we could splash the cash on someone like him, or we could go someone maybe not so flash. Go for that backup to the incumbent who is Pelag. So we could look down this list quite a little bit more here. Augustin Pulu is there as well, only wanting that 98,000. But remember, he would take up one of those 3 spots for a non-EU overseas player. So I'm looking, right, let me see. I'm looking at guys on my shortlist down here Way down, yes, way down here, we've got Anthony Merrick, is 173 rated, weighs just over 100,000, although that's not too bad. I kind of stuck away from Dorsile here as a 36-year-old. We'll go away from him, but we've got Garrard. So he's 28, 73 rated, 117,000 on him. And there's also another one down here, 70 rated player. These are the options we've got. So you've got a few options to look out for. Where's the 70s? Here they are. I was looking for French players. Oh, I've gone past them. I was looking for French players here because I thought that would be the good way to go, especially if we're going for the backup. He's actually 70 run rated. I can't read my own writing. Here he is, Enzo Hardy, 23, young and decent enough, exciting little player. And we've also got Chavot. Xavier Chavot, we'll go with that, 28 years old, a bit older, but very, very cheap as well. So a few options there, mostly, well, they are all French as well, bar Dorofeev. So do we go with the young sort of incumbent to stand by Pelag, or do we look elsewhere? But that's a little list. You can sit down and have a look at them in your own time if you think we should be going with someone else. But number 9, I think, is certainly our target area. But I do think Pelag is going to be the man who stays with that number 9 jumper heading into season number 2. Greg Law would be great, but seeing as our best player is only 77, we can only go to an 80, maybe in a season or two. So I've also chipped in a couple of props. Now, loose head and tight head, opposite sides. As you know, we are very short on loose head props. So I've got a couple, or 3 in here actually, that I was going to look at for loose head props. Currently, 67 rated is our best. So all these guys up here, we cannot look at them. But probably the pick of them, I think, and I would use one of our overseas players, but of course a European player, is Wyn Jones, the Welshman. We could snaffle him away from Scarlets. 29 years old, sure, probably get a few seasons out of him, but only 60k, a very, very small wage. The other options I thought further down, we had this fella here, Enric Citano, a Frenchman, which is one thing we definitely look out for, and there is further down here is Netti. Rugby Netti is another loose head prop option, and of course these guys younger, 24, 26, both winning around 40, 50k, stealing them from Toulon and Toulouse. So that's nice off a rival club, stealing some of their front row depth. I thought was definitely one to go for. For the tight heads, a couple of guys here that I was going to look at. Don't worry about Kotze, he's broken. We'll just leave him as he is. Here's one of them though. It's Borghamni. I've messed that up completely. I've put the N and the M the wrong way. But Borghamni, yes, 71 rated. Of course, our best tight head prop is 72. So again, we're going with that depth more than anything. Only 64k, really, really cheap. Plenty of other options as well. And I thought down the bottom here, down in the 67s, 25-year-old Ali Oz, Racing 92 player, again stealing from the competition. A couple of little French options there, I thought, for a position we don't terribly need badly. It would give us a nice bit of depth. And also thought here, if we could pick up someone who did both sides, like Rory O'Connor, for example, or yep, that fella, or him, or even that guy as well. But again, you got to look at that nationality and what they will offer. Also looked at a hooker. Actually, I might add this in. Don't really need one. We've got actually 3 good ones, but I am going to look to bring in one. And here he is. You may notice the name. Recognise it? Yeah, it's Brett's. We'll bring Brett's back. He played about 20 minutes, got injured as that, what do you call it, replacement sort of injury cover. Let's bring him in for good. Why not? Now, Damon is a great little player. I enjoyed using him over the season and the limited time that we actually had with him in the number 10 jumper. But when we look at flight halves, I think a better kicking option would drastically change this team for the better as well. And add more depth when we've got to go to a guy like Galatea and Boffier, move him around after just 1 or 2 injuries. It's not really ideal. So I've been a bit smart with this one. Very, very smart as well. Because as you know, Damon, he is our best fly half player on the team. And he is only a 70 rated player. So why am I sitting here on the 74, 75 area of that? Well, let's be smart about this. I have a number of names, actually. 6 players I've shortlisted here to play fly half for us in the future. And this one here is probably right up there with my favourite sort of option. Now, Whanui Haura played for the Brumbies for 2 or 3 seasons in Super Rugby a couple of years ago. getting in the latter part of his career, sure, 28 years old, 75 rated, but you're going, whoa, 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 whoa. How can you pull up a 75 rated player when you only have a 70 rated fly half? Well, my friends, you may notice here, he also plays as a fullback. Now, our good friend Bothier is our best fullback at 73 rating. That means we can sign him as a fullback, play him as a fly half. Haha, smarts, eh? See that? How clever is that? Another name we also chucked on this list was the one-time All Black Brett Cameron. Yes, don't really want to be going only with New Zealand players here, but the options in our sort of area are rather limited. There's no real, not too many Springboks, especially not Springboks. They are way too high rated for us at the moment. Even Australians are few and far between. We do get a lot of Welshmen though, and we are going to be looking at a few of them throughout this off-season. But Brett Cameron is another man, and like we just talked about, the Englishmen and of course the South Africans, there's a couple in this list. Harvey Skinner, 74 rated. Of course, you see Cameron and Skinner are inside centres. Our best inside centre, Vincent, is 71 rated. Oh, yes, we're smart. Another one is Brett Heron, another Englishman. Notice here, Exeter Chiefs, Canterbury, and Howard are unattached at the moment, but good quality players. The thing I like about Howard as well, 81,000 for his salary. Cameron wants 132, Skinner 107, Heron 154. But there's also one other name that I thought would be very interesting. And there's another one, James Marshall as well. Don't forget about him. He's 32. Also chips into that inside centre secondary position. But I'll try this one on for size, everyone, if I can find him. There he is, Jordan Hendricks. Okay, 72. Only wants 71,000. Young. Good, talented. Number 10. South African would use that import spot up. I mean, we do have 3. And so far, we've not actually used any of them yet. But there's still plenty more to come. But plenty of options at 10. Let me know your thoughts on those suckers. Okay, so on the wings, the outside backs, the finishers, we've got Ratiz, and he is an absolute god of a player. We've also got Gunderby, who's very good. But that is it. Really, Lucas spent all season injured after a couple of cameos where he actually won his games late on. But 3 wingers, really not enough when they get a lot of ball going their way. You can see with a guy like Ratiz on our team, 82 rated, we can sign anyone that is available. Yes, the best winger available is Odenot. He's French, it's nice, but look at him, he's not that fast, which I thought was a bit of a disappointment. Good hands, good mental player. He's got good sort of game skills, but not X-Factor skills. He was also old, and he also wants a lot of money. We're not going to look at him. Joe Weber, not him either as well. We've got one man who is certainly in our midst, and we're going past the second one, but it's this guy here, Fakabalavu. Now, I'm really intrigued by this Fijian sensation. Left wing, right wing, big time pace. Yes, he lacks in some other areas. He could be a better catcher. He's not going to pass too much, and he probably will be a liability on defence. But when we're limited by our ratings and by the available players, a guy like Fakabalavu is certainly one to look out for. Again, Fijian would count as our outside EU player, so a non-EU player of 3. If we did pick up one of those, either South African, New Zealanders at fly half, he would be number 2. But there's another option for you. Golonitsky, another Russian, another great player from the Rugby World Cup a couple of years ago. 76 rated, we can go off him as well. Remember, Fakabalavu is only 68,000 value. Golonitsky is 110, similar age. 76 rated though, a little bit better overall, but not as quick, but a bit more well-rounded as a player. Golonitsky, I quite like him as well, and he does get that EU status on his side. We've got Alavo is another one, Frenchman now, so we're going with none of those restrictions. We're stealing from Castres, or Casters, I should call them properly. Caster, get the names right, would you? 101,000, local Frenchman, like it a lot. There's also another couple in here. I think one's going to pique the interest of a lot of you guys out there. Raymond Rule is there as well from La Rochelle. Joe Pinkers, a rare Australian. Max McFarlane. No, because I'm on left wing and I want to be on right wing. Let's go the right-hand side. And we have another stack of players here. Pilasson, 83 rated. but 33 years old. Probably not going to be around for long. Savia, Munivalu, Alofa, plenty of good players. Ryan Combrink we could all bring in, but big money. Here's one, Gabriel Leclerc. Now, big money again, but local player, and one to probably look out for as well. But this isn't the one I was meaning either. Here he is. It's the Welshman, the youngster, Reece Emmett. 143k, 78 rated. He's quick, he's exciting, he's a damn good player. On the wings, chuck him at fullback. We can do a lot with this young kid. Could he be one coming to Montpellier this season? Again, what do you think of these guys? So moving back into the forwards again, I'm all over the show here, but this is my shortlist of desired players I think I might be picking up. See how you guys think about it. But second row, now, didn't have too many problems, too many injuries. Capelli come from nowhere and had a stormer of a season, pushing out others from that starting spot. And himself and Willemse really did dominate that second row. But for lock, 73 rating is our highest. And I'm looking at a local lad, Alexander Flankart, coming in at 76. Yes, he's a bit older, 31, just over 100k value. I'm quite taken by that option. But if you want to get a little bit more exciting and look to the future, not quite as good of a player. But again, going with outside of France, Adam Baird, the Welshman again, nicking from Ospreys, under 100k. I'm quite liking a couple of options there in our second row for depth. Of course, there's plenty of others there as well. You guys can let me know what you think. Ustazen, you want to bring in a big second row from the South African setup? We can do that as well. There's lots of good players, but not those top echelon guys we thought we might be competing with this season. Right, so there's a couple more positions we've not looked over. The back row, I think really, if we want to, we could go like this. And here we go, back rowers. So we're looking, depending on position, 79 for our blindside and open side flanker, and 75 is our best number 8. So we can look around the 80s. So do keep that in mind when you're going in a guy like Jeff Hardy. But the thing that I found against this sort of group of players was the age and or the wage. Yeah, John Hardy, great little player. 32 though, and 224 grand. Don't think that's really one for the good of this team. Another one, Elliot Dixon, is down there as well. We've got TJ Ioane. So plenty of quality. But the problem is a 32-year-old TJ Ioane from the great land of Samoa. Really worth 200k a season? Or do we look for better value for a younger sort of player that's going to stick around for a while? And there's not many. Look at it. We go down here. Mitch Brown, Bayless, Numbele. Frenchman though, 28s. Again, we could bring that in for depth, but I really think we are nicely sorted in that back row. And I guess there's probably only 3 positions left that we've not actually looked at, and that would be the 2 midfields spots and fullback. Now, Boffier, of course, and our midfielder is very, very good, so we're not going to change too much there with what we've got. But if you see someone that gives us a little bit of depth that we could pick up, do, of course, let me know as we go through. Now, inside centre, our best player is a 70 run. But remember, guys like Serfontaine and Delendi are both outside centres, which is different because Dalmeiru, who is an out-and-out outside centre, his rating is an 84. So, we could be very sneaky. Bring in someone like a Damien Delendi or a Jan Serfontaine. Maybe not. Yes, we actually could bring in a Frans Steyn. Bizarrely, no, we can't because he's a fullback. No, we can't an inside centre. So no, Staines out. Don't get too excited, everyone. For now, is there plenty of talent there, speed, exciting sort of player. On to Esterhazen, Gareth Evans. Since when was Gareth Evans an inside centre? Don't know what's going on there. But plenty of options as we go through. Another good Russian. Loving a bit of the Russian input. Lestrade is there if we want to go for local play. 76 rated though. He's not terrible and it would boost up that Ralhag sort of Vincent inside centre combination and give us a bit more depth because we know Dalmeiru goes down injured an awful lot. So have a look through these guys. I'd say there'll be a bit of money left over as we go through, but not too many. You see Florian Nicot, French options. Jared Poit, again, decent, 92k, decent depth too if you want to go off those sort of guys. If you think we should drop in another midfield option. That's, of course, the inside centres. Outside centres, how good would be a guy like Nakamura be, or a Matthias Moroni? Exciting. Maxime Mermoz would be brilliant, and a Jesse Creel. Oh, let's get excited about that. Sita Tamani Valu. Goodness me, the options just go on at the top, and we have that ability with the already talented Dalmayru in that side. But here's a little look through what else we can do. Dermulin there, Selim from Powell if we want to as well. Arate from Stade Francais. Plenty of players we could nick there. Guys from Casted, guys from Powell. All sorts of options at outside centre as we go through down into the low 70s and the 60s as well. Let's have a quick look at the fullbacks so we wrap up this little... Oh, I wish it was short, but it's really not going to be. At fullback, of course, 73 rated is a Boffier. So we can't go to an 83, that's for sure. We can go to a 75, 76 if we want to. There's a Georgian, but again, very old, not fantastic. The future definitely doesn't look too good with a lot of these guys here. But Romain Bros is certainly one, 23 years old. Jamie Shilcock, if we want to go with someone young from England. And Padovani, oh, I didn't see him before. Oh, Padovani is a fantastic little player. Oh, he's going on my shortlist. I do like Padovani. Well, this took a bit of a change, didn't it? Shame for a fullback that he's terrible at, well, a lot of things. He can't pass. He's a terrible tackler. He's not going to do great things for our defence, and we can't really shove him at fly half because he's not great at the kicking game. But still, depth, Padovani, I kind of like it. That gets a bit exciting there, doesn't it? Plenty of options. JJ Tuolangi, let's go through them all. But there's lots of guys out there as well we could pick up. So remember, what we have to look out for, 10 non-French players max in the squad. 5 non-French players max in the matchday 15. And of course, only 3 non-EU players maximum in the squad and in the matchday 15 heading into season number 2. So that's a little bit of a look at the guys I'm kind of looking at, the options around those sort of areas heading into season number 2. Just so you guys know, I never even thought of crossing my dumb brain to give you guys some options about what we can actually pick up, which is probably the most important thing when you want to name players, but you don't know if they're available. Top end guys, there's not much out there. Malcolm Marks leads the way, but we could get some of these decent guys. There's no, big names here. There's a few, but not everyone is available. So always keep that in mind as we go through the seasons. That'll wrap us up for today, though. If you do have a question you think, wonder if someone is available, what their rating is, do let me know in the comments section as per always, and I can easily have a look for you guys as well. But there we go. A little bit of a look forward and see what we could be looking forward to next season. Until then, though, thanks for watching as always, and take care.